Craft here, and I'm bringing you a quick tutorial on AutoCAD Classic. This is actually AutoCAD 2012, the student version, and I thought it'd be good for me and whoever watches this if I do this video where I show what we actually did today in class. So let's get started. Now, these are some weird shapes where you have to know the relationship between the shapes. So as I make these, I will be talking about the buttons that I'm using, the commands, and how to use them to build these shapes, but you can apply them to pretty much anything. Now the first thing is we'll be using two shapes, and the center of each one has to be exactly at the same y value. The x value will be different, but the y value will be the same. The way you do that, the easy way, is to simply draw a line. Now since it has to be exact, you should press function 8 and it'll give you a straight line across. So we're done. Just hit enter to get out of the line command. The next thing we have to do is start building up the first shape. And I'll be starting on this side. Since AutoCAD doesn't recognize the center of a polygon, we actually have to start off with a circle. And luckily these have circles, so let's begin with that. So you click the circle command. It'll ask you to specify the center point of the circle. So we'll be using the auto snap, which is, I have it automatically turned on, but it's pretty much using this one, the endpoint snap command, to automatically find this point. And now it's asking for us to do the radius. So make it as big as you think you'll need it. I'll make mine about that big. And the second one actually has a much smaller circle, so we will be using circle command, the end snap, to make a smaller circle. I might make that bigger later on. But now we don't need this line, so just go ahead and click on it and delete. The center of both of these circles is exactly at the same y value, so we have that side. This was actually a homework assignment we were supposed to do for class, but I finished it in class, so I have a bit of free time. Alright, now that we have this circle we'll be working with, the next thing we have to do is use the Polygon command, which is right here. And it's asking you down here in the command bar, how many sides do you want? We'll be using 5, so hit 5, enter. Now it's asking to specify the center of the polygon, or the edge. We'll be using center, so we'll be clicking the snap to center command. Why isn't it working? Okay, there we go. Now it's asking if it's going to be inscribed or circumscribed. Inscribed means it'll be built inside the circle. Circumscribed will be outside of the circle. So we need it circumscribed, so hit C, enter. And now it's asking for the specific radius. Now we actually need this to be at a specific point, so it has to be up here, and it actually has to be touching. So you see how it has the snap on? That is the quadrant snap to. So for the object snap to. Object snap, sorry. So since I already have mine turned on, it's this one here just so you can see. We'll be snapping it to the north quadrant, and we have the beginning shape. This is the outside of the shape. Now to start working with the inside. Again, we'll be using the polygon, 5-sided, enter, and we'll be using the center, snap to center command, find the center of the circle, right here. This time we need it to be inscribed, so it'll be within the circle, and we have to change it back to I, so hit I and then enter, and now specify the radius. So you see it here. This one again, we need it to be flipped around this way, so we have to again snap to the north quadrant. It's really important for you to never forget the snap command, the object snaps. So we're using this one, quadrant, snap to quadrant, which shows you the north, the east, the south, and the west of the circle. Alright, moving on. Now we can go into another polygon. Again, 5-sided. And now it's asking to specify the center again. So we go to circle. This time we need it again inscribed, so we just hit enter and you see it there. Now this time we need it to actually come to the center of the bottom of the previous polygon, so we'll be snapping to here. Now the snap to command is this one here, which is midpoint, which shows you the center point in between two endpoints. AutoCAD recognizes this as one endpoint, where this line begins, and this one is the other endpoint, so the center point will be right here. So again, don't forget to use that. Next, we'll be doing another circle, so hit circle, center, click here, and the radius will be up to here. So we'll be snapping to that midpoint, up to the north midpoint. And now we will be working with the polygon command, and this time we have to move it up to a 6-sided polygon. So hit enter 6, hit enter. Now specify the center. Now it's going to be inscribed, so just hit enter, and there it is. The point here has to actually be to the north again, so we'll be going to the midpoint here. And there we have our hexagon. Now the next one will be pretty simple. We'll be using the polygon command, and we'll be using a 3-sided shape. Specifying the center again using the snap to command for center. And this one will be inscribed and snap to north. Now we do that again. Polygon, 3-sided, which is already there. Specify the center point. And it will be inscribed. And this time we'll be snapping it to this midpoint down here, or the south point of the quadrant. And we're almost done. We just need one more shape. So we'll be using the circle, center, and this time it's actually going to go out to the midpoint of this line. In reality, you can choose any midpoint here. It's just to determine the radius of the circle. So go ahead, snap to that. And we're pretty much done. Now for our assignment, we actually have to change the line types. So we'll click here, go to the line type, and go -2. Enter. And this interior circle, way in the middle, alright, we'll be changing that to .2. So let's grab that again and go to .2. There we go. That's your first shape.